I guess right now we can just go straight to the PUMA Classic and Fall Championship conversation. Josh Fields just hopped on here. He is based out of the Milwaukee area, but he is also really integral with the PBR JUCO stuff. And he had the PUMA Classic this past weekend. He's actually there right now. And then like I mentioned before, was doing a lot of coverage with the Fall Championships at the same facility in Grand Park. At Grand Park, I guess. But yeah, so guys, I'll just turn it over to you if you guys got anything you want to talk about, just kind of overarching with the event or anything like that.
Yeah, Josh, and I'm gonna provide just a little color here before you get on. First off, thanks for jumping on. It looks like you're still down there grinding, at Grand Park, watching some high school guys today. I know the JUCO stuff was Friday, Saturday, but huge event for us in our ecosystem and just for any JUCO player in the Midwest. The top JUCO programs, come in there. They play 2 games on one day. Keep it budget friendly for these JUCO programs. Let them get a ton out of that one day that they're at Grand Park. Josh, you guys can fill us in on how many coaches are there watching this thing, but I know typically it's a future game style setup where there's coaches all over every field, everywhere you turn. It's a big school, and then there's also smaller schools, 4-year programs that are looking for some JUCO guys that are flying under the radar. But man, Josh, we wanted to bring you in. Like, this is top of mind. You just watched a bunch of guys Friday, Saturday. I'm not expecting you to rattle off every guy at the event, but like some major takeaways, any programs that really like impressed you, or just anything you want to share with the group. Like, there were a ton of Illinois prospects getting, socialed out. It looked like a lot of guys are going to play like prominent roles on a ton of these teams. So thank you for joining us. I know this is kind of a hard dynamic for you, still at the event, probably collecting all your notes. But yeah, give us a little quick hits here, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I mean, I remember doing this last year and having a great time, so thank you guys for having me on again. But yeah, just wanted to add on to what Drew said. Like, historically, this event has produced a lot of high level talent. Like, Drew Petska got drafted after throwing 100 at this event. Richie Bonamalo, showed out at Wabash here, and then again at Alabama, and then got a professional opportunity last year. Last year at this event, we also had 3 players end up with professional opportunities. Jimmy Anderson got drafted, Peyton Nix got UDFA offer, and Ethan Storm also got drafted from this event. So this is just a huge event. I want to say
Isaiah Jackson was up to like 99 or something crazy too one year. Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
back when he was
mid-90s. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that being a loud performance, but sorry to interrupt.
No worries, Drew. Anytime you want to interrupt, really. I mean, a lot of these guys, you guys have really, seen since they were in 8th grade. Like you mentioned, we tweeted out a lot of former Illinois preps. So yeah, you guys have a lot of information and history on these guys. But I mean, some takeaways, like Illinois is always a strong hotbed for JUCO talent. A lot of historically great programs. Wabash Valley, they look pretty strong again, especially on the mound. John A. looks reloaded, revamped, both offensively and defensively. I think we've highlighted a lot of their players. A lot of their players are also former Illinois guys, like Jonah Weathers. He was a standout bat for them. Really physical, played all across the diamond, played all 3 spots in the infield, played some corner outfield, and then even at the plate, he showed out some easy strength, 2 doubles in gameplay with, just some easy strength that he got to consistently. Honestly, there was this takeaway. I didn't know this guy heading into the event. Justin Lang, their shortstop. It looks like he could be their shortstop this upcoming year. Went to Dayton to try to play basketball out of high school, I believe, but ended up going back to baseball last year. Now, I mean, he's just an athletic defender that can really pick it at short, and I mean, I love the swing. He got to a fastball low at the knees and barreled it to right center for a single there. It was a really good piece of hitting.
Josh, that's funny you bring up his name, because that was a name I had not seen in a couple years. And if I remember correctly, like, he was playing second base at Marist with Cal Sefcik playing short. that junior, senior year, and was like honestly, kind of built like me. He lacked a little strength, was still kind of coming into his body, but he had actions on the infield. The bat was a little light at the time. So not surprising when you say like, hey, this guy went to Dayton to try to play basketball. Like I could see that the way he bounced around the infield, but to see him back at Logan and have a chance to be their starting shortstop, like good for Justin Lang. And like everybody runs their own race in this world, in their baseball, in their athletic career, and like that's obviously a really unique story. But it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, and like he's probably kind of like right in the middle of his resume right now from what it sounds like. So
Yeah, another John A. arm I would quickly shout out, or a couple, I guess, or Gabe Smith, another former, was he a Edwardsville or O'Fallon kid?
he was actually Father
Father
McGivney.
McGivney, yeah, he was a
um he was kind of right at the beginning of I mean, Father McGivney's still a pretty new school, and like he was kind of like part of that leading class that really put him on the map. I mean, top 10 type prospect for us. He was a draft follow out of high school. So when I saw that, social come out as well, that fired me up that he's throwing the ball well.
Oh yeah, throwing the ball well. I mean, in his inning, it was, I mean, he only needed fastballs in his inning. And it was pretty quick inning. I mean, 92, 94 with his bowling ball sinker, really. It was pretty impressive. I mean, I wish I got to see a breaking ball, but then again, it was quick enough where hey, if I don't need to use it, I'm not going to use it.
I'm sure some schools are out there kind of like you though, Josh. Like, man, show me that breaking ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he is kind of that lower slot guy to where, if he can flash that frisbee or that horizontal breaking ball, that's really going to help his stock and his ceiling.
Oh, especially if he wants to be a starter or if he's just going to be a lights out guy at the back of a bullpen. Guy's a huge guy with arm action that looks like it can bounce back pretty easy. One of the loudest outings was probably Dylan Menino's. I mean, he flashed some power stuff. It was fastball to 95 a couple times. There was some carry on it too, 17 inches at about an average release height. So, I mean, it got some carry when it was up in the zone. And to be honest, I think that there's a tick or two left in there. So we're talking about a guy that could maybe flirt with, mid to potentially even an upper 90s fastball at some point heading into it. And then he showed two separate breaking balls. This cutter was at 88, 89, and just all the late movement. It was the cutter that you like want to dream up in a pitching lab. Like it's a pretty good pitch. I think it's going to get outs. I think it's going to generate a lot of weak contact against both-handed batters. So you got that, and then he threw this low 80s slider that also got some swing and miss. So we're talking about three pitches that could potentially get hitters out at the next level.
And that's another Metro East guy. Like I remember watching him at the Kickoff Classic for Belleville East a couple years back, and it was like 89, 90, but he was coming out of the pen, and there was all kinds of like moxie and reliever look to him, like highly competitive, a guy you'd want to have in the back end of your bullpen. I didn't expect his velo to be 95 right here out of Logan. That's awesome to see though, because he's a 6'3", like 180-pound long levered body with even more strength probably to come. And like you said, the way this velo is shooting up, like who knows where it's gonna end.
Yeah, I was talking to the Logan staff, and they were saying we could see a higher number than a 5 today, but if it's a 5, it's 95. We're not going to be worried about that. He's going to have plenty of options.
That had to be in the runnings for the firmest fastball of the event, I would imagine.
Yeah, this year we only had two guys up to 95, so it was him and Isaiah Brennan out of Iowa Central, another sophomore that really flashed a good fastball and some secondaries that could play at the next level. So yeah, Dylan Menino, Isaiah Brennan, the hardest stars at the Puma this past year.
You mentioned some other schools like Heartland.
Yeah,
You mentioned Wabash. I mean, I know we saw Swick a little bit. I know you were kind of stuck. You're locked in on two fields, and then we've got like one guy for every two fields, right? So you're not seeing the entire Puma.
correct.
But yeah, so I don't want to put you on the spot for things you didn't see. But yeah, what else did you see from Illinois?
Correct. I was able to, walk over and see some Jimmy Anderson at bats, watch him, field some ground balls and play some defense. I mean, I came away impressed. Like, I mean, this was a guy that was drafted in the 19th round last year and, opted to go back to Heartland. So, guy that's betting on himself, twitchy athlete with some
feel the play in game and a lot of production to back it up. I mean, he was great at Heartland last year and just took some great competitive at bats all day, taking great swing decisions, swinging at the pitches he should swing at in hitters count, trying to drive the ball when he needs to. I mean, unfortunately, the production wasn't there until he got that double his last at bat. So we got some film out on him, but just a guy that really looked the part, and walking up to the field, he kind of stands out against even on a talented Heartland squad.
Is he still open as far as a commitment is concerned?
Yes,
I did not look at that.
yes, he's still uncommitted. I had some phone calls after day two about it, or after day one about him. So yeah, still uncommitted. Certainly not for long. I know that there's some high level schools in on him.
Yeah, he's a Joliet West 2024 grad, and that was a club whose infield we absolutely loved. Jimmy's senior year, because I mean he had James Love with him as well. I know having a pretty good career so far at EIU. They're high on him coming into this year. They also had Karchewski playing second base, who ended up going and playing some JUCO ball.
Yeah, Josh, you're talking about Heartland, and if you didn't see him, that's okay. But I'd be absolutely kicking myself if I didn't ask you about Lance Keysweater, the Henry boy playing at Heartland now. Did you see him pitch at all? I saw it was up to like 91 or 92.
I was able to see him throw against one at bat, and I called David Seifert over, and David Seifert was, our director of college scouting. He was also there on Friday to help cover the Puma, and David Seifert came away a big fan. I mean, that's a workhorse frame with a fastball that gets on you. He attacks hitters. There's a breaking ball in there. I mean, he pitched a lot for Heartland last year, and I think he's gonna back that up again this year. I mean, he looks like a guy that can really impact a D1 team right.
That
Yeah,
fires
he
me
looked
up.
super physical in that video, Gavin.
Yeah.
And you better have called him out. Like I had to Google it just to make sure, but I mean, he was a huge reason why Henry Senechwine got runner-up in the
Yes.
1A state
He
finals
led
in
them.
2023.
He led them to state. The kid was just an absolute stud in high school. He was like he was the guy in Henry, and like there's just not a lot of baseball players like that coming through Henry. So to see that, I'm happy for him. I'm always rooting for him. So just had to call that out for sure.
Love that. And I made sure that, we had him covered, and, I had my notes ready for him because I knew that question was coming up for you guys. But there's two other
Josh, I
guys.
don't know if there's anybody else on Heartland that you wanted to mention. Like, just looking through here, I was blown away at how many upper 80s, low 90s arms these JUCOs have. It just felt like every guy we were socialing out, it looked like Swick had a couple really good arms, and David Barker, Lewis Slade, both are Illinois guys. Like David Barker's O'Fallon. Lewis Slade was a really good arm for Lake Park. So those I stood out to me, just kind of, from afar. But yeah, anybody else you want to mention?
Yeah, there's a couple of Lakeland hitters over here, Jalen House and Eddie Lettamenti. So Jalen
Hey,
House,
they're coming off a World Series showing, D1 World Series showing, right?
oh yeah, D1 World Series showing, played a couple games down there, made a little bit of a run. It was a really fun story to watch from, Julio Godinez in the squad down there. Great guy, great program they have down there. They came here and kind of showed out a little bit. A couple bats I wanted to mention. Jalen House, NIU bounce back, appeared in a lot of games for them last year, and this guy has a huge run tool, left athlete. It's an easy and loose swing. I mean, he got to a outer fastball with ease, and the ball really jumped off the bat.
Looks like he just
He
flicked
flipped
it,
it.
like
Yeah,
flicked it down the line with authority, Josh.
he did. I was standing right there next to Charles Frady as he was filming it, and man, I was left a little speechless, and then just watching him run, it was
Exactly.
it was a blink, and
Yep.
he was there at third. I mean, I didn't see him get many balls out in the outfield, but imagining that guy patrolling center field, like, I mean, a left-handed guy that can really run like that in center field, I mean, I get excited over that. Going over to Eddie Lettamenti, this is a guy that I remember talking to you guys on this pod last year about. Had a pretty loud home run last year, and back at Lakeland again after redshirting after an injury, and I mean, still the same guy. Bat speed, athlete, and competes with some that present power to a pull side is still there. He can pick it at multiple spots in the infield. Whether it's the left side, but he should be able to play all three spots in the infield there.
And that's exactly like what he was in high school. And it looks like he's just getting stronger. Like he's just really filling out that frame, like watching that swing and like his back. It looks like he's been kind of living in the weight room a little bit, which you love to see. Man, Lakeland had a couple bounce backs because I even saw a video of Isaac Flowers, who was like committed to Toledo out of high school. He's a Newton product, which is where they've got a really good 28 coming out of there right now that we'll talk about maybe later as well. Quincy Fulton. But Isaac Flowers, that one stood out to me. They got Caden Maurer, who I know was really good for them last year, was tweeted out from us as well. So, man, Lakeland's got a ton of pieces.
Yeah, that's a squad that should again be a fun team to watch in the GRAC this year. It's going to be some fun baseball down in Southern Illinois this upcoming spring, and I'm going to be watching from afar.
Especially
It's gonna be firing me up.
Yeah, especially when you factor in the Swicks of the world. Kaskasky has always got guys. I feel like all those schools do a really good job of finding those Southern Illinois guys that maybe are flying under the radar, have some, higher ceilings, maybe just are a little raw and they need to develop a little bit. And then all of a sudden you've got a guy that's, 86, 88 in high school and he goes to Kaskasky and he's 90, 94 in a hurry. I feel like you see that pretty much every year out of those schools down there. But yeah, the GRAC always loaded, and it looks like more of the same here, Josh. Cameron Yearsley, John A. Logan, big left-handed hitter. It looks like he's been hammering balls all fall. He hammered balls all senior season for Yorkville. I don't know if you got to look at him, but that's a left-handed bat. They have him and Davis Colley. I know Colley's only a freshman.
Yeah. So
not sure if you saw him.
I got both of those. It looks like Cam Yearsley just lives in the weight room down at John A. and the batting cage. I mean, there's bat speed, and I mean, you talked about Eddie Levimente's back, but I mean, this guy's whole frame is just muscled out and just physical. I mean, the feel to hit has always been there, even as a freshman. I believe even back as a senior, he was one of our favorite bats in the IHSA. But I mean,
yeah, he had a huge senior year. He was an all-stater.
Yeah, I mean, there's in almost innate feel for the barrel, and I mean the ball jumps to all fields. Like, I don't know. There's a ton of left-handed bats to get excited about, but a guy that can really hit into all fields, there's not a lot of guys that can really do that. And then Davis Colley had some of the loudest hit contact of the day. I mean, that guy swings with intent and looks to punish baseballs every single pitch, every single at bat. And I mean, when he barrels it, it's loud and everybody in the park can hear it. With that, there does come some swing and miss and some little aggression, but when you have a chance to hit for as much power as Davis Colley can, I think you can oil with that.
Well, Josh, there's probably 1,000 guys you want to mention. At some point, we're going to turn it over here to the fall championship. Are there any other guys that you just don't want to leave off the list? Or, I know you were bogged down with a ton of JUCO stuff, so you may not have seen a ton of high school. So we'll give the lion's share of that to Pete. But yeah, give any last call outs here on JUCO guys that you have.
Really, that was the list that I had. I just wanted to call out the staff. I mean, Charles Frady, Will Hanna, David Seifert, all coming down there and helping me crush the PUMA for, a third year down there. This is part of my favorite time of the year, so it was just really appreciative. So I just had a lot of fun. So this was a great time.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me out, guys.
It looked awesome from where I was sitting, Josh. And there's a ton to, follow up on, right? Like all these programs we're running scout days with. Now we see them at the PUMA. Some of these teams that we've seen at the PUMA, we still are going to run scout days with. So there's more guys that are probably going to come, out of the fold, I guess is what you would say there. But tons of talent in JUCO baseball, especially in Illinois, which fires me up. So many of these Illinois guys that, graduate from these high schools in Illinois, go to these JUCOs in Illinois. So like there's still guys we see all the time. There's still guys that, when I'm talking to 4-year schools that are looking to guys, like we keep them, in our mind. Jalen House, like we don't forget about him just because he's now not at Downers Grove South. He's still in our ecosystem. We're still talking to all these schools that are trying to find players, trying to find, left-handed hitting athletes, left-handed hitting power, big righty arms. So, the more knowledge we have on these guys, the better. And what you guys do down there at the PUMA is so clutch. So thank you, Josh. And thank you for jumping on and making time for this. I know it's not the most ideal setup. I know you're probably on little amounts of sleep as well. And you're just seeing baseball all day. So kudos to you guys and awesome stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. There's going to be some post-event content coming out of this, so be on the lookout for that. I mean, breaking down some of the top names from the event, and then even heat sheet, and eventually some top JUCO prospects. So be on the lookout for that.
Boom.
Thanks,
Good
Fields.
stuff. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Always appreciate it.